Alright guys, welcome to the video today. We're going to be talking about images in HTML and how you can get images on your web page using HTML. So this is just a brief overview here on w3schools.com, and it just kind of shows, images obviously, and then the image tag, which is how we make images in HTML. So it's just an opening tag. There's no closing tag like most HTML tags. They have closing tags. It's just for images, just an opening tag. So, and then in the middle, it's you have two attributes that are default for all images, and that's going to be the source, or SRC for short. And source means like, where's the source of the image? Like, where are we getting this image from? Are we getting this from like a web address or a local file? This one looks like it's like a local file, but you can also grab them off the web by pasting web addresses, which I'll show you how to do. And then you have the alt text for an image, which is just text that you're supposed to put in that's describing what the image is for, or what it is. Alt text is for people who have like impairments that need to use screen readers, and it'll help them see what the web page is by hearing it, or it'll also show up if an image like doesn't load properly on a web page. The alt text will show in its place of what it's supposed to be. You've probably like loaded a web page before that had like that red X where the image was supposed to be, and then alt text of like what it is. So that's what alt text does, and it's important to have that on all your images for like accessibility and all that. Okay. So I'm gonna go here, and we're gonna start making some images. I'm gonna show you how to add them into your text editor. So I'm gonna create a new file here in my HTML course. I'm gonna call it images.html. And I'm going to put 7 dash images because this is lesson 7. This is a full course, guys. If you're not watching the full playlist and you're just learning about images in HTML, that's fine too. But I do have this as in a playlist as like a full course of all to learn all of HTML for free. So take advantage of that if you need to. But I'm going to set up my boilerplate text here. I'm going to hit Shift exclamation tab. I'm going to give my document a title called HTML images. Okay. And then we can go ahead, and I'm going to launch this page and using Live Server on Visual Studio Code, the Live Server extension. And there it is. And then I'm just going to put a heading here called images. Make sure it's updating. All right, cool. We're connected. So I'm going to go ahead, and we're going to grab an image. So we'll make an image tag here. I'm just going to hit IMG. I'm going to type IMG and hit tab, and I have auto code completion here on Visual Studio Code. You can type this out. If you have to pause it and you want to type all of this out manually, go ahead. But it's just the image tag. Again, there's no closing tag. It's just like one little tag. Usually a lot of elements have these closing tags, but image isn't one of them. And then for our source, I'm going to go ahead and grab an image first from the internet. So let's just go to Google and we'll type in football. And I'll go to images, and let's go ahead and grab this one. This one looks cool. So I'm gonna click on it, and then I'm gonna right click on the image and say copy image address, and that's gonna give us a URL to the image. So I copied that. I'm gonna click back into my HTML page, and I'm gonna paste that image address into my source, the SRC, and we're gonna save, and the image should appear on our HTML page here. Bam, there it is. Okay, so that's pretty cool. And then for our alt text, remember we want to have alt text that describes what the image is. So I'm going to say, I'll just say football player. Okay, and that's that. So now I'm going to grab we'll make another image below it. So I'm going to say IMG again, tab, and let's grab another image because there's a behavior with images that I want to show you. About how they are positioned. So this is a cool image. I'm going to grab this football image, and I'm going to hit copy image address again. Go back to our page and paste that into the source and hit save. And you can see that when I go back to making the page full width, that this image actually goes right next to this one. And the reason it does that is because by default, images have a display position of what's called inline. And inline positioning is just how it sounds. It's in line with the other elements next to it, so it'll show up next to it, okay? And that's more of getting into like CSS, but even though this is just an HTML course, it's important to understand that's why images go side by side, because they're inline. We can actually change that behavior by using a little bit of CSS and making it display block so that it stacks like it's supposed to. And you'll notice that it stacks on smaller screens because the screen is small, but it doesn't like resize or anything. But I'll go ahead and show you. So I'll put alt text for this one. I'll put, I think that's Alvin Kamara. He's a football player. I'll say Alvin Kamara scoring, because it looks like he's like reaching out to score a touchdown. I'll save that. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create another attribute within my image called the style attribute to add styling. And I'm going to hit display. I'm going to put display and then block and save. And now this should be stacked on all screens. So let's see. Yep, and it is. Okay. So that's just a little thing with images. We'll learn a lot more about that on my CSS course, which I'm going to be making. All about CSS and positioning elements and all that. But that's just a little tidbit that's important to know. Images will go side by side if you don't display them block. So another attribute that you can actually add for images, there's a height and width attribute that you can use. So I'm going to put width next to my style attribute, and we'll say we want this image to just be 200 pixels. So I'll put 200, and it's going to make it way smaller. And then you can actually also do the height. You can make the height 100, and then I don't think it'll really do anything. I think when you put width, there it is. So now, say we made the height 400, and now it just looks like distorted. You don't really ever want to use height and width in your images. You want to use CSS for that, but it is possible. I just wanted to show you. So I'm going to get rid of that because it's kind of making it look distorted. So the last thing that I want to show you guys is how to actually add images. So these are images from web addresses. And when you're making real projects, you don't want to have your images depending on a web address, because if that link goes dead in the future, which they all do, your image isn't going to show up anymore. You actually want to have your images, you want to download images and have them in like a local folder called image, and then you can just grab them from there so that they're downloaded. You host the image yourself, and it'll never go away unless you delete the code. That's how you want it. So to do that, I'm going to open up my files in VS Code, and I'm going to make a new folder, and I'm going to call it IMG for image, and that's the standard way to make an image folder is to call it like IMG, or sometimes people will call a folder called assets, and they'll put the image folder in there. But so now we have an image folder. I'm going to open up my Finder here, and I'm just going to go, I think I have some images. Yeah, I have like profile picture images of myself in here that I use for various projects. So this is me. I live in Arizona. I'm hiking in this picture. This was a fun day. But this is just like an about image that I use for some websites that I have, like blogs and stuff. So I'm going to drag it to my image folder. And there's me. And mountains in the background. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another image. Say IMG, another image tab. And then I'm actually going to go in and grab the image from that folder. So I'm going to hit /. So that // is telling my computer, go out of my current directory and go into a different folder. And I want to go into the image folder. I'm going to hit enter. And then my about image.jpg is right there. So I'm going to hit enter again, and I'm going to hit save. And then here I am. There's my about image, okay? And that's like the default width. Again, you can change the widths with the attributes, or you're supposed to do it with CSS. But so the image is pretty large. But you can see this is stacking below this one, again, because we made this image display block. Nothing's going to go side by side with it. So even though I didn't put display block on here, it's not going to go side by side because this is a block element, okay? So this isn't inline, but it won't. It's listening to this styling, so it's like, oh, go below that one. So anyway, there's me. And that's how you add an image from a local folder, which is how you should be doing images every time. So again, like that means that I should have, if I wanted to add these two football images properly, I should have downloaded them to my computer and named them something and put them in my image file and then added them that way. But I'm just wanting to show you everything you can do with images, even the stuff you're not supposed to do. But yeah, so that's pretty much that's images in HTML, guys. That's how you add images. I guess I can add alt text. Put Nick being awesome. There. How about let's be real. Nick hiking. That's me hiking, right? But yeah, guys, that's everything for HTML images here. It's pretty simple. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.